Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast. I'm Phil. I'm here with Anthony and Mike. Mike, how are you?
Well, I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, not too bad at all. Not bad at all.
You had a fun day?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was my son's 9th birthday party, and boy, oh boy, I'd forgotten how much I hate children's parties. Absolutely horrendous. A couple of kids I really wanted to kick in the head. Yeah. Not yours, Phil. Yours were there. They were.
Yes,
perfectly well
I was wondering. Yeah,
Yeah.
because one of my kids did get kicked in the head.
Oh,
Isla's
we did not log that in the accident book. My apologies.
Layla's got a cut on her head, but it's fine.
What?
It's fine. I think it was probably one of our children that did it to her, but she's fine.
Oh gosh. Good. Well, one of your children came to me. I thought my biggest concern was going to be the sugar, because your eldest came up to me and said, "I'm on the biggest sugar rush since I went to Granny's and ate 5 biscuits."
Yeah. She was slightly hyperactive on the way home.
Bless her. You're welcome.
And best of all, she's got a youth group Christmas party, which she's at right now. And as I dropped her off to it tonight, I could see they had a table laid with party food. So
excellent.
She may not sleep tonight.
Tis the season. Tis the season.
Exactly. Anthony, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. I mean, luckily for me, I've not had to attend a child's party or had 5 biscuits today. But no, other than that, boys, I'm good. Super pumped now. I've just seen Boris's latest press conference. Boost, and more boost, boys.
Boost, and more boost. What have you done today, mate? Anything exciting?
Football this morning. Obviously, you can see I've bothered to change. I'm still in it from this morning. And then there was a little sporting event that caused a bit of controversy going on today. But I'm sure Mike knows all about that. I'm sure he watched that in between this party.
Oh, it was a travesty.
It was.
Absolute travesty for somebody, for sure. Outrageous. I'm outraged. I'm not sure who with, but I'm outraged.
Love it.
The best thing about it is that Toto Wolff knew we needed something new for the soundboard, and he did his job. Here you go. Ready for this? You ready for this, Mike? This is going to be used a lot.
This is amazing, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you, Toto Wolff.
No, Mikey, that was so not right.
Did you say that to me?
Yeah.
The most German man ever.
Oh,
no, Michael, no.
Oh, Toto.
That is a beautiful new sound clip. And probably much needed,
Who's Toto?
Toto Wolff. He's
Africa.
Named after the gladiator.
Who knows? But yeah, he's like in charge of Mercedes, and he wasn't very happy today.
Oh dear. Well,
or last week. Briefly.
He's certainly not very happy with a man called Michael. So very apt for this pod.
Talking of not very happy, and let's go with your team. How's your week gone? We won't go over it for too long. So this week's episode for listeners, we're gonna go through our punts, get the quiz on, get some listener questions in, and then we're going to talk about how we plan for the hectic schedule, trying to remember deadlines, this, that, and the other. And then we'll preview this week's fixtures, midweek fixtures, which are Tuesday. They start Tuesday to Thursday. So more chaos and more midweek rememberings and possibly more cancellations if you're Spurs. So, Ant, how'd you get on?
Well, for those who were watching / listening last week, know that I needed a little bit of help, and you got that little video together from my favourite man, Jensen Button, and it clearly helped this week, boys, because I got a massive, for me, 55 points, which is actually 51 net. I'll just very quickly
run. Is that some surly sarcasm on your part?
No, I mean genuinely for me, that's actually a good score, mate.
Oh, okay, as you were.
I'll start bad, and then it does get better. So my front three, not the best. 2 points between them. Vardy again, not in favour now at Leicester, seemingly 0. Saint Maximan, it cost me 4 points to bring him in last week, and in the 2 weeks he's got 3 points, so that was good. Single point for him, and a single point for Ben Deke, who I think's got 4 points in the last 3 game weeks. So that wasn't so great. As we know, I lost the quiz last week, so root cause picked Lucas Moura last week, which was a great shout. He got 9 points. Moura did, so he picked my captain and very kindly went for Mohamed Salah, and thank goodness he did. He scored the winner, so his 8 was doubled to 16. Bernardo Silva got a fairly controversial assist, I would suggest, for his role in Manchester City's penalty. So 6 points for him. Damari Gray, oh dear. It seems that Weldy against Arsenal hasn't inspired him to do anything today. A single point for him, as was Jota. But 3 of my back 4 boys, Ramsdale, 11. Rudiger, who I brought in at the last minute.
Yeah,
9
copycat,
points.
by
It
all
was
means.
copycat.
Yeah, no problem.
2 words, autocomplete. TAA, 9 points. But I knew I wasn't going to have the best of weeks because Friday night's game, Brentford against Watford, started with Ethan Pinnock, the legend that is, being ill. I presume it's COVID. 0 points. But don't worry, Livermento's on my bench, so he'll come on for a single point. So, yeah, so 52 points net, sorry, with that extra point on. So, yeah, more red arrows for me, boys. I think I've gone down again somehow. I mean, can't be many people below me now in our league, seemingly, but I'm still dropping. So, yeah, 52 points, boys. But Mike, I think you took a big hit this week, but you've done better than that.
Yeah, minus 12.
Mike took a big hit. That's a surprise.
Minus 12 I went for.
Well, I thought it was minus 16. That is annoying.
Yeah, no, I double checked. Minus 12.
Okay.
Yeah, so 4 transfers were made. Yeah, for me, some not great news was Reece James playing, conceding a couple of goals and getting booked. So he came in at a grand total of 0. Jota got me 1, who came through a potential fitness test there. Josh King and Callum Wilson both got me 2. Loves playing against Leicester. I don't know what happened. And then it was good scores from then on in. Alonso got me an assist for 4. Bernardo got me that, as you say, dubious assist for 6. Cancelo got me an assist for 7. Ramsdale got me the 11. Conor Gallagher.
Easy for you to say, yeah.
Yeah, he got me 15, and Salah captained up to 16. Gave me 73, so a net of 61.
Very nice.
Not bad.
Not so bad. Not so bad.
Yeah, not bad at all, that, Michael.
Thank you.
Which leads to me.
Yeah.
I've been on a bit of a run of form, so people will like that I started this week with pretty much my legs chopped off because after having a fully fit squad going into last week's games, approaching this week's games, I had 6 definitely out and Jota, who was apparently injured as well. So not ideal to have 4 players in the Brighton Spurs game that was called off. As well as Tony, who was ill, and Foster, who's injured. And then there's Jota. So I had to make 3 changes. I made 2. I bought in Josh King for Tony, and I bought in, it's a good one, Diogo Dalot for United instead of Reguilon. 4.4 million Diogo Dalot for a starting wing back for United. Although we'll get on to United at some point because they really didn't play great.
Hey, listen, that was the transfer of the week for me. I like that a lot.
Yeah, great shout.
Very good.
It was fluke. I was just searching for cheap defenders, and then I realised he was that cheap. I don't know how he ever got that cheap. It seems insane.
Yeah. Okay.
But then, big thanks to FPL Commander because I put on Twitter that I was thinking of just going Josh King and Backman because I had no goalie. And he said, well, why don't you go for, because I had money in the bank, why don't you go for De Gea instead of Backman? So I did.
Nice.
Thank you, Commander. He got me 10 points and paid for those transfers. So unfortunately, James as well didn't do me good. Jota came on for 1 point. King, Wilson, nothing. James, 0. Cancelo's now suspended. That's not ideal. And I've had a bit of a tough week. I've been very tired again and couldn't really be bothered with the whole captain pick. So a chance of redemption for those who listened to us last season. They may remember Vicar Lewis chose my captain. He won a punt once and he chose the Carl Walker Peters of Southampton, and who got 1 point and it doubled up to 2 last season.
Still burns you, doesn't it? It's raw.
Still burns, but a shot of redemption for him this week. So who does he pick? That's right, Damari Gray, booked 1 point, doubled up to 2.
Oh dear,
amazing.
Yeah. So ended up on 55 minus 8, 47. So I'm off my high horse.
Sorry, how did this redemption for Reverend Lewis come around?
Yeah.
He suggested that Ant's captain should be Kyle Walker-Peters as a joke, and I saw that and thought that maybe I should offer him a chance of redemption.
Okay.
Being a vicar, redemption's quite important.
Yeah.
So, it turns out, I don't know if he's going to get offered another shot of redemption, because he's cost me there. But it's all for the fun of the game.
Mm.
Well, indeed. So that's your poorest week for quite a while, my friend. But hardly making much ground on you there, though.
No, there's still a 70-point gap between myself and you, Phil, and Ant's even further behind. So,
well, he'll be glad to hear that. The issue I've got is that my team still has quite a few injuries for next week, and this week moving forward. Anthony, what I find best is that you have been trying. My daughter has a team that started really well in the start of the season, and therefore she won't make changes, even if she's got players that don't play anymore. Even if she's got players that are injured, she always has every week captain Danny Ings, regardless of his injury status. So Captain Ings this week for her got her 2 points. She's got Adam Armstrong. She started Dallas. She's had him all season because she thinks the name is funny. Aspilicueta also because the name is funny. She started Luke Shaw and Walker this week. Neither of those played, and no one's on her bench that's playing. But she is still above you in the league.
She is still above me. Yeah, incredible, isn't it?
Nah, absolutely nuts.
I mean, to be behind a team that is not only run by a 10-year-old, but one who's having Danny Ings as captain every week. Nice. It doesn't say much for me, does it?
No.
Dear, oh dear.
No, it doesn't.
I do keep quoting Dareem and saying things going to get better, but it doesn't really feel like it at the moment. I'm not quite sure where I go from here, looking at the fact that I've got 3 strikers and none of them are now playing.
Don't worry, mate. You just play a 5-5, or at best a 5-4-1.
Okay.
How did your punt get on?
Hold on. One of you boys lost this week.
It was Phil.
Yeah.
So, Phil, what's going into the prize hamper, please?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna without I'm at risk of repeating myself here. The past week, I have been making belts because that's I make belts for a living. I've been making belts. So many belts. I've been going in early making belts.
How many belts, Phil?
Oh, thousands
of belts.
Yeah. So, but they're really nice, really good quality, thick leather.
Right.
Made
I didn't want a sales pitch. I was just curious how many belts.
By all means, ashfordridge.co.uk, but we're not here for that. I will provide someone a lovely belt made out of a vintage leather, beautiful finish. I'll hand make it myself, and that can go into the prize pot. I have already put a belt into the prize pot.
I was going to say, is there not really a belt in there?
There is, but these belts, they're expensive, way more than £5.
Okay,
you can never have enough belts.
So. 2 hot crisps and 2 hot belts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and they are hot. So I'll make someone a lovely belt. Mike, what are you eating?
It looks like a burrito.
It's sort of a burrito for the common man. Fish finger and petit pois sandwich.
Petit pois. Oh, Michael, no.
They are the best peas, to be fair.
Yeah, I'd go along with that.
No, everything's better in a sandwich, isn't it? So, yeah.
I'd go along with that
tonight.
Bread sauce sandwich, that is top dog. It's ironic and delicious at the same time. Heading back to its natural home, the bread sauce. That's my tip. But petit pois, it's good that you think they're the best pea as well, Ant. What's the best thing that begins with P?
Pizza.
You're sat opposite someone called Phil. Thanks very much.
No, pizza. But I thought we were going food related, mate.
Nope. It was just going in life. But no, it's fine. Okay. Mike, best thing beginning with P?
Yeah, I'd go pizza as well.
Great.
Over you.
I mean, I'm your brother, but that's fine. How did your punt get on there, Mike?
Very well. I can't remember who it was, but he did do well.
Odegaard,
yes. Scored. I think that's 3 games in a row he scored.
Certainly at least 2. So
Fine.
that does well. How about yours, Ant? Who did you have?
Pablo Fornals.
Pablo Fornals. No, he didn't do anything. Okay. So I had Kevin De Bruyne. Equally terrible call.
Oh dear. Yeah.
So that means that Mike gets to run the quiz, and Ant, me or you, we're having our captain picked yet again by a
Me.
listener. And the person who will be picking will be FPL Commander. FPL Commander and Chris My Face both went for Daka of Leicester, but the coin has been tossed, and FPL Commander,
Wow.
not purely because he got me points with David De Gea's tip this week, but purely because Tails never fails. FPL Commander will be picking one of our captains this week. So, Mike, have you got a quiz lined
Have
up?
I? By golly, I have. So I'm going to dedicate tonight's game to Toto Wolf. The game is called What's the Time, Mr. Wolf? So I'm going to give you some goals that have been scored across the weekend, and I want you to tell me in which minute the goal was scored. And what we're going to do is we're going to work on a kind of what I'll do is if you're 10 minutes off, I'll add 10 points to your score. If you're 80 minutes off, I'll add 80 minutes to your score. The one with the lowest score at the end of the game will win. Yeah.
Right. So
Points
you're
do not make prizes. That's what I'm saying. You want to get as close to as little margin of error as possible across your 5 answers.
Right. Okay.
Yeah?
I think I understand what you're saying.
Okay, so let's start then with Raheem Sterling. And Ant, I'm going to come to you first on this. So Raheem Sterling scored his 100th ever Premier League goal yesterday. It was a penalty, but in what minute, Anthony, was the penalty score? He's gone. He's legged it.
Ant has stormed off at this
He's
point.
not. He's run downstairs to go and get the newspaper and check out the scores.
Yeah, it does appear that way. So yeah, not sure the protocol here. I imagine we'll pause it and I'll edit this this out. But for those watching on YouTube, I hope you are enjoying this brief interlude whilst Anthony has disappeared. And the quiz was just about to begin. If he comes back and nails it minutes wise, so is it closest? Whoever gets the closest minutes gets a point.
No.
All right, Ant, you there?
Oh, I'm very sorry. Windows updates.
Oh, I see.
Good timing. Sorry, I heard Raheem Sterling. That's all I heard. I do apologise.
So, Mike, ask the question again.
Okay. So the first one then, and I'll let you go first because you're losing overall. Raheem start again.
Oh, you can try.
Right, Ant.
Yes.
So Raheem Sterling, I'm going to let you go first because you're losing. Raheem Sterling scored his 100th Premier League goal for Manchester City yesterday. It was a penalty, but in which minute did he score it?
I know it's second half, and I want to say it was around the middle of the second half. I'm going to say 70th minute.
The 70th minute. Okay. And Phil?
So I get a go on this as well?
Oh, yeah. You both get a go.
I'm going to go... So effectively, it's higher or lower than Ant then. So I'll go for the 69th minute because I think it was earlier.
I can tell you it was the 66th minute.
Oh.
So, Phil, you get 3 points added to your total because you were 3 minutes out. And Ant, you get 4 because you were 4 minutes out.
Oh, I see.
You see how this is working now, lads.
So it's not necessarily good to go for just a minute either side.
Exactly.
Okay.
Martin Odegaard scored for me, and the reason I'm hosting the quiz this week is because he scored for me as my punt. But in which minute did he score Arsenal's second goal yesterday? Phil, you get to go first this time.
Okay, it was first half. They had a quick fire double in the first half. So I'm going to go... Yeah, I don't know when in the first half, so I'm just going to go slap bang. Well, 25 minutes.
25 minutes. And what about yourself?
I think it was a bit later than that, wasn't it? I think.
I truthfully, I don't know.
I mean, I do, but it would spoil the game for me to tell you.
28.
28. So you've gone 28 and he's gone 27.
No, Phil's gone 25.
25. You're playing this very close. It was 27 minutes. So, Ant, you get 1 point added to your score. So you go to 4. And Phil, you get 2 points, yeah?
Okay, cool.
So
Lovely.
Phil has 5, Ant has 4. Ant, you're 1 ahead. This
Good
is
grief.
tense stuff. Okay, let's mix it up a little bit. Let's go to Liverpool against Aston Villa. Mohamed Salah scored a penalty, a contentious penalty at that.
Well, one of the many contentious penalties this weekend.
Yes, indeed. The only goal of the game, but in what minute it was scored? Anthony?
I think it was pretty similar to the one at the Etihad, wasn't it? So I'm going to say 68.
68. Okay. And Phil?
Yeah, I actually think it was the 68th minute.
Oh my goodness, that'd be incredible if that's true.
Because I didn't see the goal. I just looked it up on my Sky Sports app. Other apps are available. So I'll go 67.
Well, I can tell you, it was the 67th minute.
Oh,
wowie. Which means, and you get 1 point added, Phil none, which means you're sat both on 5
This is
points.
incredible.
This
This is tense.
The standard in the first ever game of What's the Time, Mr. Wolf, is pretty impressive.
Which is very unusual for me in a quiz.
Well, yeah. Let's go then.
Give it time, mate.
Thanks.
Let's go then to Chelsea against Leeds. And we'll go with the only goal of the game for Chelsea that wasn't a penalty, Mason Mount. But in which minute did Mason Mount score, Phil?
I think it was the 39th minute.
39th minute, Ant.
I thought it was just before half time. Or just a bit nearer to half time than that.
39 is quite close to half time.
It is fairly close, but I think it was nearer than that. So I'm going to say 43 minutes.
Oh, this is close. I can tell you that, Phil, you were 3 minutes away. So you go to 8. Ant, you were 1 away. So you go to 6. It was the 42nd minute.
Yowzers.
Okay, then.
Ooh, this is close. This is good. I like this.
Quite the finish. Okay. Let's move then to Norwich against Manchester United. The minute in which Ronaldo scored his penalty, the only goal of the game. And you get to go first. What minute did Ronaldo score his pen?
It's pretty late on. I know that much.
He 2 points. 2 points in this, guys.
I'll tell you now, and I know the answer.
Oh wow!
You know the exact answer. Oh yikes! I don't.
It's piling on the pressure.
I was watching this whilst babysitting at Mike's house last night.
Oh, that's an advantage.
Whilst knitting a scarf.
I know that he did a lovely squeal as he threw himself to the ground.
Embarrassing. Yet another embarrassing penalty decision this weekend.
I'm going to say 76.
76. Phil.
And is 1 out. Is 75.
Oh,
he is 1 out. It is 75, which means that Ant, you have 7 points, and Phil, you have 8 by 1 point. Phil, you've lost, I'm afraid.
I mean, any sort of warning? It's the last question of the game.
Oh, 5. Yeah, there's 5 questions.
Why don't you lodge an appeal, Mercedes style, Phil?
There you go.
No, Mikey, that was not right.
Hey, look, them's the breaks. Can't play it forever. I know the listeners would want us to, but that is time at the bar.
It's controversial, but I'll take it. Thank you for that, Mike. I do like a new twist on the quiz.
What's the time, Mr. Wolf?
I feel like Toto. I might have to throw my headset down in anger. Just as he does. Yeah. Oh, that is well. Congratulations, Anne. I'm pleased that you've won something. It must feel like a unique experience.
Patronising, but that's fine. I'll take it.
Harsh,
but fair.
Harsh but fair. That seems accurate. So, gentlemen, let's go
Yes.
to some listener questions. Shall we?
Yes, let's do
Yes.
this.
Both of you seem dead keen.
Super pumped for this, mate. Super pumped.
So, obviously, the fixtures are a bit nuts at the moment, and it's very hard to keep up with. As we predicted, like in last week's podcast or the week before last, COVID has the potential to cause all sorts of issues, and don't have lots of players from the same team. What I hadn't predicted is having Spurs and Brighton players. I mean, that's just unfortunate, isn't it? So, what are you doing in your team, if anything, to account for the risk of potential postponements?
Well, look, with a strong bench, first of all, but also players that have to play, that the clubs are particularly reliant on. So I've done a bit of a Mike Botter. You might want to get Toto at the ready because.
Oh, he's ready.
Okay, well, I'll let you know now that this weekend I've already transferred in Bowen and then transferred him out again.
No, Mikey, that was so not right.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, to be fair, but he's gone. I've taken him out.
I mean, that is ridiculous.
So you're on minus points for bringing a player and then taking them back out again the same week before they've played.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you bring back in the player you'd previously taken out?
No, I didn't do that. So I've lost track really. I bought in Antonio for Vardy. Now, Vardy's an interesting one. I think actually he will play midweek because he played midweek against Napoli and then they rested him this weekend. So I think they're trying to manage his time. So actually I think he'll probably play alternate games. But if he doesn't, Daka at 7.1 is a good look. But yeah, so I've taken Vardy out and I've brought in Antonio and that allowed me to get Mason Mount in. I really wanted Mount over Bowen, so I've bought Mason Mount in. So I think Mount, is pretty nailed on to play most games, and I think Antonio definitely is for West Ham because they've got no alternative up front. So So in short, I wanted to just kind of it's quite a cathartic experience for me just to tell you about the disaster I've had already before the game week started, but also in short, I'm bringing in players that I think are nailed on to play.
So you're on a minus 8, and it's Sunday night, and the game starts Tuesday.
Yes, I am.
No, Mikey, that was so not right.
You haven't had any.
I think actually it might be a minus 12 because I think I made 2 changes and then I did. I made 2 changes and then one of those changes I've taken out.
I can't keep pressing that button. I mean, that's the issue. I can't keep pressing that button. The issue you got is that press conferences haven't happened until tomorrow. So you're not going to know if there's any sort of knocks or injuries or anything, and then you might have to make more rash transfers.
Yeah, I may do. My worry is I've only got 2 on the bench because Cancelo is suspended. So that's a bit of a concern. But I'm certainly not transferring Cancelo out.
No,
not for one game week. That would be madness.
With that point in mind, have you got any Spurs players?
Yeah, I got Davies.
Okay, because you transferred him in before the COVID news.
Yes, I did. Yeah, it's been a unadulterated success.
I mean, Spurs are going to have one hell of a fixture pile up, aren't they? Here.
Mm-hmm.
And quite, as you said, with the whole COVID thing, quite crazy that somehow the Premier League players have missed it, and then all of a sudden we get a whole squad hit by it. So it is an interesting one. But Mike's hit the nail on the head. You need to have players who play, and that's again where I've come up. This week I had 8 players. And that's not really going to help you get a good score, is it?
You had 8 players play.
Yeah, because I was with my bench. My bench aren't playing, and then Pinnock, which I didn't know about, he didn't play, and then Vardy didn't play, and someone else didn't play. So, or they might have got 1 point. So I might have had 9, but I had quite a few zeros and quite a few ones. So I need to find players who can actually play. I'd quite like to go a week where I don't have a player come off injured at half time. That'd be quite nice as well.
Sure.
That's happened quite a lot. Havertz, something like that. Still, At least Mopé couldn't score this week, so
Yeah,
There is that. Crumbs of
there is
comfort.
that. Indeed. So
I-
I need to find players who play.
I've still got Son on my bench, which is a huge waste of money for the previous game week. But I don't want to get rid of him, knowing that he's going to have a run of fixtures at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know when that's going to be. I don't know when they can possibly squeeze in another game, unless they do it before Christmas.
I mean, is their next game even going to happen? When does all the isolation for them end? Does anyone know?
I think they're meant to have a game on Thursday. Is it against Leicester? But
But
I
surely
think
not
if they play it as part of a Christmas party or a trip to the pub, I think it's fine. Just play in the pub car park.
That's an excellent plan. Yeah, they're meant to play Leicester away on Thursday. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I might just keep Vardy in now on the off chance he might actually kick a ball. Bear in mind, he could be playing a load of players who won't have been training.
I tell you what's really frustrating: losing that game and seeing that this week. I mean, last 2 weeks I've not captained Salah because it's a bit boring, but I've just seen he's at home to Newcastle.
Yeah.
So, Commander, my plea to you, please.
It's Damari Gray again.
Not Damari Gray again. No, I might have to bench Damari Gray to avoid.
I think we should put FPL Commander in touch with the Reverend Lewis Pearson.
Agreed.
Yeah, we'll see about that. It
feels like Lewis does always do good picks when it comes to captains.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Next question. Well, that wasn't really a question; it was more of a discussion. So let's go to questions. Voiter asks, "Have you got any tips for FPL related Christmas presents?"
Well, I mean, Ant put something in the hamper the other day, didn't you? Some kind of journal.
Oh yeah, the FPL journal. Yeah, on Amazon, boys. Yeah, I mean, you can plan ahead, Mike. This would be like your dream. You can plan it like 2 years in advance with that bad boy. So yeah,
surely that's not possible. We don't know who's going to be in the Premier League in 2 years' time. That's not feasible.
There are other really good FPL related things on there, actually, mainly guidebooks, which I think there's an FPL guide for idiots on there, which is what I could do with, judging by this season. So it'd be something along those lines. Or maybe a nice Fantasy Threesome FPL mug.
Yes, lovely.
Which is already in the hamper as well.
There we go. I mean, we don't sell them, so I don't know how you're going to buy one, but by all means, download the logo off our Twitter feed and make your own. There's no, I won't fine you for royalties or anything. Mike, what about yourself? What do you think?
Anything FPL related?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. No, sorry, that's a bit of a boring answer, isn't it? Hot crisps?
A little bit.
If you want to link it loosely to the podcast. Hot crisps, £25.
Well, a belt, obviously. You never got too many belts, as we discussed.
Basically, what we're saying, Voiter, is win yourself a Christmas hamper in the style of FPL by winning our league. I don't know where Voiter sits in our league right now. Presumably not above the number one person in the world.
They're not number one in the world anymore.
Oh, are they not?
No.
Oh dear. Oh,
but it's still a pleasure to have them in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I don't know. What's the best Christmas present you've ever had?
Well, that is a great question. My wife's here, so
it doesn't have to be in the modern era. I mean, I'm going back to my childhood for mine.
Okay. I remember getting a second-hand Skeletric. That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was good. And then we sold that to get a second-hand Mega Drive.
Yeah.
But I also remember getting a PC and getting Theme Park on it, and that was incredible.
Okay.
I'd go similar. I got 1996 Christmas. I got the original PlayStation PS1. There's a joint present with my sister. Amazing. Oh. She got Casper the Friendly Ghost as her game, and I got obviously the very first Formula 1 game on there. Oh, good times.
I remember I got a PS1 for Christmas, and it was a joint present with my sister, and I got like FIFA or something, and I think it was one of Dad knew someone. I mean, he's not going to get arrested now because God rest his soul, he's passed away. But Dad knew someone who chipped PlayStations, so they could just copy discs or something. So we had quite a few games, but my sister had Spyro the Dragon. I remember that, and I had a few racing games, and that was great. The old PlayStation, but I think Theme Park on the PC was good. Mike,
mine would be 1987.
Showing your age.
I was 2.
I got a science kit, and not a science kit like they are today, where it's, I don't know, grow a tree or something. It was pure chemicals. It was pure chemicals. It was a Bunsen burner, loads of chemicals. Chuck it all in, set it to light, explosions. It was absolute carnage.
Sounds incredible.
I had a great time with that. I mean, yeah, it was gone by New Year's Day for sure, but I burnt through everything. But that was incredible. I'll switch it now, and I'll ask for worst Christmas presents. And I can go pretty early with mine. Our sister, who I love my sister, but she just gets really random presents. She bought me a Tasmanian devil. I think it was a pepper pot, because she said I like pepper. So I didn't even have a salt and pepper like combo, and I don't think I've ever watched a cartoon of the Tasmanian devil, Taz. I seem to remember eating chocolate bars that were called Taz back in the day.
We've been here. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was odd. And then she outdid herself a couple of years ago, where she got me a signed picture of Alan Carr that she'd bought on eBay, because she thought I liked Alan Carr. Well, I don't mind Alan Carr, but I've never seen him live or
even mentioned his name.
Programs. But yeah, signed picture of Alan Carr, which I've still got, treasured in a kind of ironic kind of way.
Yeah.
Okay. Worst Christmas present you've had, Ant?
Do you know what? I just think about this, and I don't know what made me think of this, but I think my mum and dad, or Santa, got me a radio in the shape of a dog. It was a dog's head. And as you know, until I got our dog last year, I don't like dogs. I was a bit like you, Mike, when it came to dog. It was a little dog with a little kind of, I think a little hat or something and big ears. I can't really remember, but it was the most random thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I don't think it even worked.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but yeah, good gift that. Yeah. So that wasn't the best. Phil, I'm guessing yours. Bandana socks related.
No,
it was clothes related for you.
No, well, our aunt we used to go up to our grandparents in Coventry like a couple of days after Christmas and stay up there for a few days. My aunts lived up that way, and they used to always come on like the 28th or something, and we'd have like a second Christmas. And they always had been to the sales, and then they'd come in the door and they'd go, "Oh, we just got to pop upstairs," and then you'd hear them frantically wrap up whilst you're just waiting and waiting. And I remember one year, and I'm terrible at lying, and I can't keep her. I'm not a good actor, and she got me this jumper, and I was thinking, I'm never ever wearing this jumper.
It became a bit of a running joke that every year she would buy clothes for us in the sales that we didn't like.
Yeah. I mean, I like jumpers. Don't get me wrong, but it was like half of a sportswear jogging bottom top set, but without the jogging bottoms.
It was awkward that we'd been given these clothes, but it was all the more awkward that I was one of 3 brothers and a younger sister, and so we would, myself, Phil, our brother and sister, as we're opening them, we're trying not to catch their sight of line, their eyesight, because we just crumble and start laughing. I think one year I did start laughing, like whilst opening the present, trying not to let on that kind of we all knew that there was a dreadful item of clothing coming. But there we go. Good times. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So no FPL. I don't have any FPL ideas. Sorry.
Oh, something personalised, Voiter. That's what I would suggest, and something that maybe mocks them in some way. You know, pick on their playing style and have a bit of fun with it.
Nice, yeah.
Okay, next question. Do we all get on penalty takers, seeing as this weekend there were some hilarious decisions, not just in the Formula One?
Jorginho is the one, isn't it? This must almost be a record for amount of penalties this weekend. But yeah, I do feel sorry for Wolves. I mean, that was the armpit, wasn't it, of Moutinho?
Yeah.
But still, at least VAR, which was brought in to eradicate these kind of decisions, made the right call on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely his armpit. I couldn't believe that.
They came out. Did you see? And came out and said that they couldn't get a definitive angle or something, and then they said on Match of the Day they found one, and they obviously had that access to that in a few seconds. Incredible. But anyway, no, I can't say. I mean, as I say, I'm just trying to find players, boys, that are playing.
Well, Jorginho plays.
Yeah, but Chelsea aren't going to get penalties, are they, every week?
Not every week, but he has been popping up. I had him earlier in the season, and he worked quite nicely for me at the time. He had a little run of games where he was consistently kind of giving returns. I'm just looking at my squad. I wonder how many of your players take pens, lads. I've got King, Antonio, Tony, and Salah. So I've got 4 that will be on pens of my squad.
Yeah. Looking at this, I've got Salah and King and Wilson and Wood.
But does Benteke take penalties?
He doesn't take minutes on the pitch, mate.
Didn't he controversially take a penalty like very late in a game once?
Yeah, because he hadn't scored for a couple of decades, I think it was, and they let him take it, and then he missed. Didn't he miss?
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, it was against Bournemouth, wasn't it? It was really late on, I think.
Yeah, it was against us. It
was one real controversial one against us, I remember, at Selhurst Park a few years ago. I don't know if it's the same one, but yeah, that was definitely Benteke. Looking at my team, if he plays, it would be... Does Vardy take pens for Leicester?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know Tielemans took the one today. It would just be him and Salah in my team, so just the 2.
Yeah. So are you know, if you're looking at bench players to maybe top your squad up, would you consider putting penalty takers on there?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, Jorginho is still pretty cheap, isn't he? So he would definitely be an option.
Yeah. Jorginho is, yeah. I think players like that are perfect for the bench because if they have to come on, they can really surprise you with some points hauls. I mean, that was quite the amount of points he got yesterday, wasn't it? I mean, what was it? 15 points.
Yeah, incredible.
And he's had a 10-pointer. He's had an 8-pointer this season. So
he's 5.8 mil, lads.
Yeah. It's definitely an option, isn't it? The thing for me and Chelsea, boys, just quickly, is when is Lukaku going to start getting some more game time? Again, he's 3 minutes, I think he got at the weekend, didn't he? Still sat there over 11 million. Seems incredible to me. He's not getting more minutes, but Chelsea's still winning games. So, but you think he's got to start playing over the busy period over Christmas, you think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, you would have thought so.
Yeah, you would have thought so, especially given the outlay on him. But I wonder if he suits their style of play, which is an odd thing to say, given that they've spent so much money to bring him in. But
you look at how well they played without him.
They play with this kind of false 9, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I wouldn't be putting him in my FPL team. I prefer to put in Mount.
Yeah.
Mount's a good chance.
At the cost of 8 points, I would. Yeah.
Okay. Next question is actually from my wife, avid listener. She's got a wild card left.
By golly.
Yeah, wow. we can all dream. She's happy with her squad. Should she freshen it up a bit and use the wild card before it expires, or should she just let it expire?
I imagine being just content with your squad.
Yeah, strange.
I'd love that.
Can we see the squad?
I can tell you who's in it if you give me a brief moment.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I'd like to know. I'll give her my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, she, just to put it in perspective, is 42 points ahead of me, and I am 60 points ahead of you. So she's doing pretty well. Her squad, she's had Mendy all season. White. She asked for some advice off me on Friday, and put in Diogo Dalot as well. So she's got White, Dalot, James, Cancelo, Livramento. Okay. Salah, Gallagher, Rafinha was her midfield 3 this week. Not bad. King and Antonio up front. She's got Golden Virginia in goal. So obviously, he's joined Sporting Lisbon on loan. He's not going to be back until July.
Golden Virginia?
Golden Virginia is not his real name. His real name is João Virginia. And I think João in Portuguese is golden. May or may not be true. Smith Rowe, Jimenez, and Son on her bench. So it's not a bad squad, but Jimenez is obviously now suspended, and his good run of fixtures has passed us by. They've got.
So there's a few there that I'd be looking to ship out if I could. So, has she got any money in the bank?
Money in the bank. Let me have a look. She's got 2.5 million in the bank.
Alrighty. Well,
Nice.
look, let's
Just
look at
hanging
upgrading
around.
Let's look at upgrading that defense for a start. Let's get Livramento out.
Yeah.
Saints looking in a spot bother.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get Jimenez out. Yeah,
Yep.
freshen it up.
But
For
apart
sure.
from those two and Virginia, you can maybe get a second goalie in case something happens to Mendy, or maybe even get. Would it be showboating to swap out Virginia for Lloris, bearing in mind Spurs are going to have 1 million fixtures at one point, and just have him on the bench? She's
Yeah,
got the money in the
nice.
bank, and you
Yeah.
could do that, and then he's going to have multiple double game weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
a
I
good
like
chat.
that.
Conte looks like he's made him better defensively already in the few games he's had. So definitely an option.
Certainly, she's doing all right. She's doing well. So, okay, we'll pass that advice on to her, or she can hear the advice when she listens. But so you say use it just to get rid of Deadwood.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think the deadline's the 28th now for
Okay.
using your wild card. So
Okay.
do that if you need to. Okay, next question that's come in is from Chris My Face, who says, do you hold grudges with certain players who've let you down in your FPL team in the past? Madison, Mount, and Gallagher all did nothing for several weeks when he's had them. Now look, they're okay, and he's not sure he wants them back. Madison is one who has burnt me so many times. I couldn't believe his performance today.
He's been unbelievable, actually, last few games. He's won and seriously looking. Well, actually, midfield is where I'm actually not too bad, actually, in my team. But yeah, he'd definitely be one I'll be looking at if you need that kind of option. He's in the points again. He's always actually quite the opposite for me, Phil. He's always done historically pretty well for me. But we've covered this in previous pods, but Ollie flipping Watkins last year, 3 times I got burnt with that one. So yeah, and I still hold a grudge now.
Any Wolves players for me, I get no success with Wolves every time.
I'm sorry to hear he's retired due to health issues, but there's a bit of me that was sort of a bit smug about it. Sergio Aguero, for years, he's haunted me. Every time I bring him in, he gets injured or hits a bad patch of form. And Vardy as well. I gave him another chance. Gave him another chance. Not anymore, Jamie. You're in the bin.
Yeah, Vardy. Any Leicester players actually? I don't. Apart from Barnes last season, he did all right. But any Leicester players, yeah. And I do hold grudges as well. I won't bring them back. And I tell you, someone who's on the chopping block, Chris Wood.
Oh, blimey. He's been on the chopping block for a couple of weeks now, hasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, pun intended. He's on the chopping block. And I last season, I mean, I put him in my team because last season he made me smile. This season he has been terrible for the last.
He has not
3 games.
made you smile.
No, so Chris Wood out and potentially Daka in is something I'm thinking about, despite what I just said about Leicester players. So yeah, hold grudges. It's part of the game. Okay, next question from FPL Commander. Coping mechanisms after transferring out Tierney last game week after weeks of holding him and his manager not playing him. Then he did the same with Gallagher this week, and they both did well. So he's transferred out. Game week 15, he transferred out Tierney for Reguilon, who then went and got the whole Spurs situation, and then he transferred out Gallagher for Bowen. And they weren't bad transfers at the time, but yeah. How do you cope when you see someone you transferred out and they start doing well?
Eat a whole packet of milk chews.
That's the answer. It's the answer to every problem you have.
It always makes me feel better.
Yeah, I don't take it well. I don't take it well. It's like an ex-girlfriend spotting her about the town with some muscle-ripped, good-looking fella living the high life.
Yeah, you're right there, mate.
A bit bitter.
Well, that felt a bit too real.
It did. I was getting flashbacks from when I had to drive you to your girlfriend's house in the middle of the night once.
Yeah, no, look, that was purely a metaphor. I didn't have anybody in particular in mind.
Okay, cool. Okay. Bless Amber. I wonder what she's doing now.
Well, thanks for that. Yeah.
So I doubt she's listening, Mike.
Wow.
No, I mean I am, but yeah.
Just getting in your head for the upcoming game week.
Yeah.
Last question then.
I'd talk about all your ex-girlfriends, but there weren't any.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Or, I mean, I've been with my wife since I was 16, so
Yeah.
you probably were unaware of the harem I had in middle and lower upper school.
Boys,
Oh yeah, you were the Hugh Hefner of your upper school. Yeah, no doubt about it.
just going back to the original questions quickly. You
Yeah,
boys have helped me
please.
cope this year with constant reminders on our WhatsApp group every time a player I've taken out. Mope doing well. You do love to rub it in. That's made me feel a whole lot better.
But I genuinely, I know that that comes with sarcastic tones, Anthony, which is rare for you. But if that happens to me and you boys point it out, it at least cheers me up that knowing that I've made you happy.
Yeah, a little bit of
that's
banter.
nice.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
quite like that in a way.
Nothing wrong with quality bants.
Nothing. Okay, Bethany Megan asks, De Gea and Tierney or Ramsdale and Darlow?
Oh, well, Ramsdale's getting a lot of points, and Darlow is cheap, and he's now playing, and they've got good fixtures.
But so De Gea's got the same fixtures as Darlow, obviously. But
this is true.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, it is a
That's
really,
good one.
I mean, looking at that, I would suggest she might be able to do De Gea and Darlow, but probably doesn't want the double up. She seemingly, it appears, wants one Arsenal and one United, and if that was the case, I'd probably go Ramsdale and Darlow purely because Tierney isn't guaranteed to start every week.
Yeah, it's Darlow though.
Well, he has done since old Rangnick has come in, hasn't he?
The thing with Ramsdale is he does love some bonus points, doesn't he? He seems to be kept busy, and he's getting a lot of. What did he get at the weekend? 11 points total, didn't he? So, yeah, that's. I would be tempted with Ramsdale and Darlow myself.
There was a lot of bonus points. I got 10 bonus points this week. De Gea got 3 bonus points as well. There were a lot of bonus points for the players in a lot of teams this week, rather than low scoring ones. Out of interest, can you guess the top 5 bonus points of the season? Players with the most bonus points, boys?
I reckon Ramsdale must be there.
Oh, incorrect.
Okay,
Trent?
well then.
Got Trent top. Well done, Ant. Mike, you're up.
Oh my goodness,
Salah.
I got something right.
You're second. Well done, Ant.
Rudiger.
Incorrect, Mike.
That was a good one though. Reece James.
No, Mikey, no, Mikey, that was so not right.
Oh, all right, Toto. All right, okay.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Incorrect. I don't know where that's come from. The correct answers are Trent, Salah, Ron Dennis, good old Ron Dennis, talking about F1. Vardy and Cancelo.
Vardy? Oh, flipping heck.
14 bonus points. Mope's got 11, Ant.
Oh, well, I'm pleased for that. I mean, he got about 3 points when he was in my team for 5 weeks, so thanks. I'm so pleased for him.
Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, gents, let's look at the fixtures then. So did we decide when it comes to Bethany's question? Are you thinking Ramsdale and Darlow? Are you?
Personally, I would go De Gea and Tierney because I think Tierney's the more attacking of the 2 fullbacks.
Okay,
I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to go Rambo and Darlow.
Well, I hope that's helped, Bethany.
Yeah,
there we go. I mean, here, I would suggest you listen to Mike, judging by how my season's going.
Well, yeah, but I agree with you, Ant.
Oh wow, okay, blimey.
It could get messy.
It is very messy. Thank you, Nigella. Okay, so Michael, do you want to go through the fixtures?
Yeah, I'd love to. Let's have a quick look then, shall we? They are starting on Tuesday evening. Brentford, who will have had an extra day's rest, host Manchester United.
Brentford aren't doing great at the moment, are they?
Well, it was a big win that for them, wasn't it? That last minute goal, and United snuck it, didn't they, against Norwich? They weren't exactly impressive. And Norwich had some chances in that game, so I reckon this will be a very similar game, actually. Probably Ronaldo just threw himself to the ground in the 75th minute or whenever it was to get another penalty.
Yeah.
And Burmo came out trumps. He's had a good couple of weeks, 9 points this week and 5 the previous. And still sits at a cost of 5.5 million. So he might be somebody you want to consider. thinking outside the box.
Well, he was on penalties when Tony's out, but we don't know how long Tony's out for.
Well, if it's COVID, he'll miss this week. I would have thought. But following this game, they're away at Southampton and they're away at Brighton, which are 2 games where you wouldn't rule him out getting some points. So yeah, I think for 5.5, there's a few players between sort of 5 and 6 million that offer a bit of value. We've mentioned Jorginho already, but I think he is one of them.
Well, Southampton bottom of the form table, Brighton are 17th. So yeah, it's possible. Anthony, if you looking at anyone from Brentford? You got Pinnock. So what's your plan with him?
I think he's going to go this week, boys. I've been looking to get rid of him for a while, to be honest with you. And I think I'm looking at an Arsenal defender, possibly Gabriel.
Of course, because he got points this week. I know how you work.
Finishing last week's points, as you know. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, he's going to go this week. So I'm probably going to be playing a 4-5-1 at the moment.
I think that might be the optimal formation because no strikers are pulling up trees. Apart from maybe if you got loads of cash, Ronaldo.
Yeah, I mean he's in the points game. But this is my trouble when I was looking to bring take Vardy out. I was looking around and thinking who is there actually to bring in. And
I mean, can I question? I mean, please do plow on with it. But can I question your acquisition of Gabriel?
Go on.
Well, so he's 5.2.
Yep.
You've got Tierney at 4.7. You've got Tomiyasu at 4.7. You've got White at 4.4. You've got Tavares at 4.3. And you're going to spend at least $500,000 more to get Gabriel in.
Yeah, but Mike, think about who got points last week.
And he's got exactly.
Yeah, he's a bit of a threat from set pieces, but those wing backs push on. Tierney in particular.
At those prices, I'd think, go for one of the cheaper ones. I think Gabriel might just be out of reach.
Oh, that's good, Phil. That's a cracking 90-spot reference.
Very clever. Very good.
Thank you.
No, I'd much rather spend $500,000 more on chasing last week's points.
Good. I look forward to seeing it come to fruition.
By the way, when I said Ronaldo, he actually had a terrible game. Everything he touched, he lost the ball. It wouldn't stick to him at all. United were terrible. And Norwich had far better clear-cut opportunities. Yeah, the one opportunity Ronaldo had where the ball was slightly behind him, he like chipped over the bar. And the penalty, to be fair, took the penalty well, but he just jumped on the floor. I mean, if everyone jumped on the floor every time someone had hands on them, it'd be horrendous. Football wouldn't be football. But yeah, actually, I'm not sure Ronaldo is firing on all cylinders. Yeah, who is there up front? Who on earth could you put up front?
Well, you've got what for United?
At all? What's the plan?
What strikers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
So the most informed strikers, Ant's gonna love this. Dennis, who he owned, he's the most informed striker. Ronaldo. Then of course third is Neil Maupay.
Of course it is.
Didn't even play this week and he's third. Then you got Wilson, Ollie Watkins. And
brilliant.
To be fair, he's Ant's nemesis, but Watkins is a shout, and he's playing it through the middle.
I don't think he is the shout. But I'll come to that when we hit Villa in a minute.
Okay, because Ings came off the bench still. Right, Watkins is starting ahead of him.
Well, in fact, that's our next game. So let's talk it. Norwich at home to Aston Villa. Yeah, Ings came on for the last 16 minutes. And I think he could well start.
You reckon?
Yeah.
You reckon he's going to just try and keep things fresh?
Yeah. Yeah, I would expect him to come back in. So I actually quite, I was a bit torn between Antonio and Ings as to who I was going to bring in. Maybe you give him one more game week, but the temptation is to bring him in now, ahead of that trip to Norwich.
But he's been fit. He's been fit for a couple of weeks and he's not been starting.
Mm-hmm.
And Gerrard hasn't started him since he's been there. I wouldn't be spending that much money. Bearing in mind what we've been saying about transfers and keeping people on the bench who are fit, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Norwich, you tempted with any Norwich assets? Let me tell you, they're most informed players.
Yeah.
So you got Pookie, Grant Hanley, who's now out. He's like not got a shoulder anymore. Max Aarons, who was very attacking.
Mm.
He was very attacking the other day. He's had 1 assist all season, so I'm not suggesting he's going to light the world up. Tim Krul loves a penalty save occasionally, but yeah, there's not much to interest me in Norwich. Despite their sort of average run of fixtures they got coming up, even if they're cheap, I think I'd prefer to just not have them.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, cool.
Man City Leeds is the other Tuesday night game, an 8:00 kickoff for this one.
And have you bought Gelhardt yet, mate?
Pardon?
Have you bought Gelhardt yet?
No.
Bear in mind he scored this week.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't got any Leeds assets. The only one I've had all season actually was Ayling, who scored in the opening day, wasn't it, against United, and then took him out. No, I'm not. And City, though, did struggle, didn't they, the weekend to break down 10 men Wolves for 45 minutes, and it was a pen that was never a pen. So not necessarily lumping on City assets here.
Your views on the red card for
Well, the only silver line to that is, of course, that I had Jimenez and I had him as captain a couple of weeks ago. Took him out, thank goodness. But yeah, I mean, once he's on a booking, which was probably soft, he's got to go, hasn't he, for that second one?
It's just it's kind of instinctive. It's the sort of thing you do, if you're.
But you don't stand there. You don't stand a yard from the man.
I think he realised as soon as he did it, he realised, didn't he?
Yeah.
But now
the first one is pretty harsh.
Start.
Yeah, he should. But Grealish here, Mike. I mean, you'd had Grealish a lot. Grealish was.
Yeah, he got an assist yesterday. Yeah, he got an assist yesterday, but he's still not firing on all cylinders, and not everything goes through him. I think Bernardo is better value at the moment, and I'm sticking with him in my team. Interesting that Rafinha got himself a goal. He's got the pen and looked quite lively for Leeds. I've taken him out because of their run of fixtures, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe Chelsea are a bit leaky at the moment compared to City, and maybe I've done the right thing. I hope I have, because they play City and they play Liverpool in the coming weeks as well. So we'll see on that one. I see Paddy B didn't play. He's got a muscle injury again after coming back on and scoring.
I think what happened is that when he celebrated his goal last week, he pulled a muscle.
Oh gosh.
Which is just sums up his luck this season. So he's going to be out for some while, old Paddy B. But on City, is it time for Sterling? He's started the last 5 games. He's in form.
He's on pens.
Yeah, seemingly on pens as well.
How much is he?
I think he's 10.6. I can
He's
check
quite
that
pricey.
Yeah.
He's quite pricey.
But if you've got someone like Son, like I have, he is 10.6. So I've got Son, and it looks like he might not be playing for in this fixture. You're not tempted by Sterling?
No, I'm not. I'm not, because of the pet roulette. I won't invest too much money in players there that are. Yeah.
Gundogan has got a bad back apparently, which may well limit his minutes. So resist that if I were you. But yeah, Foden therefore should be getting some game time. You would have thought with Gundogan having a bad back. Foden's been rested for a few games now, so you know what he's like. He sometimes goes on a run, Pep, with players. He'll chuck someone in for a good few games, like he has done Sterling.
Yeah.
I had Sterling as my captain in my FPL Fun League this week, and I actually had Gabriel in there, and I actually got 62 points net as well, which is
wow.
Shame that wasn't my real team, but anyway.
Wow. All right, let's move to Wednesday. Brighton play Wolves at the Amex.
Okay.
This is a game for defensive assets.
Or Neil Mopé, the third most informed striker in the game.
Get him in, boys. Get him in. Everyone get in Mopé.
Both teams are pretty solid, aren't they? But both teams struggle to score goals. So, yeah, I'd maybe really looking at defensive assets here. Maybe Lamptey.
Yeah, a defensive. Yeah, because he's more attacking, isn't he?
He's more attacking.
He's obviously a defender in the game.
Yeah.
Or one of your favourites, Phil? Cucurella?
Oh, yes. Beautiful hair. It won't surprise you to know he's in my fun team. So yeah, I'm all for Cucurella. I think that's probably a good idea.
Only 1.2% ownership, £5 million, so he's a good differential.
It's expensive when you compare him to some of those Arsenal assets, though, isn't it?
That is true. Yeah, when you think he's 0.3 million more than Tierney.
Brighton should be well rested though. They've got a bit of a hodgepodge of fixtures. They've got Wolves, United, Brentford, Chelsea, Everton, Palace. But yeah, Cucurella, I like him a lot, as we've mentioned before. So, but I'm thinking Mopay, maybe Mopay, and just get him in for like Chris Wood to Mopay.
If Mopay comes into your team and scores, I quit.
Oh mate,
I'm
you never
done.
know.
I'm going to delete the app if that happens.
Mate, I look at Mopay, and I think he's gonna get me lots of goals.
I see girls.
Thank you.
Clever.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on then to the Sean Dyche derby. It's Burnley against Watford.
That's a very good memory that you've remembered that he managed Watford. I mean, that's going back a bit. Feels like he's been at Burnley forever.
It's about the time I got my science kit, I think. He was at Watford. Yeah, Burnley against Watford. Burnley a clean sheet today.
Boring Burnley. It seems to me if Cornet's not in the points, then Burnley aren't really either.
Yeah,
but Watford are always Watford concede goals. They haven't kept a clean sheet all season. I've got Chris Wood. What do I do?
I think you stick. I think you stick for this game. Yeah.
Do I maybe go Callum Wilson to Mopay then? Because Callum Wilson's now.
Are you actually going to Mopay?
What else do you suggest here? I've got. Yeah, okay. I have got money in the bank. I could do that.
Out of form though, isn't he? Antonio hasn't had a decent return for a number of game weeks now.
He hasn't, but I still rate him to come good.
Yeah, strikers
they got
are
some good fixtures actually. West Ham, to be fair, after Chelsea, they do have a good little run. But yeah, Antonio hasn't had a good return for about 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah, strikers just seem a bit of a waste of money at the moment.
They really do.
But yeah, I can easily go Wilson to Mopay, and then after that I'd have 2.7 million in the bank just to lob at anything I want. Maybe one day even get rid of Basuma. Who knows?
Maybe. Also at 7:30, it's the Jason Puncheon derby. Crystal Palace play Southampton.
Oh, good old Jason Puncheon. I think didn't he go and play for a team in Cyprus, Puncheon?
I've got absolutely no idea.
Oh, for some reason I think he did. So you chat about the game whilst I Google it.
Okay. Palace, Ant, what do you reckon?
Well, I reckon the Benteke is probably not going to start again, is he? But Zaha, I see, was in the points today. He's one that you've always championed, Mike, and I think against Southampton's defence, he might be one to look to bring in here. Southampton, actually, to be fair to them, played quite well for the first 20 minutes against Arsenal.
I think this is what Southampton do at the moment. They come all guns blazing first 15, 20 minutes, don't score, and then are knackered.
Yeah.
The second half, they seem to just collapse.
Yep. But Zaha, who's not really one I've ever bought in historically at all either, but he might be one here. Palace going very nicely at home under Vieira.
Yeah. I'll tell you who I like. And I'm going to struggle to pronounce his name, but I'm going to go with Gooey. Gooey.
I know who you mean.
Yeah. Gooey Louis. Guehi. Saw a very nice interview with him. Came across as a very nice young man. On loan from Chelsea. Strong in the air. 4.5 million. Someone a little bit different. Oh, there's a lot of value out there in defence, isn't there?
1.7% ownership. Huge differential.
Yeah.
Always
he's going to be my punt, lads.
He's always. I was going to say he's always a punt. Someone always puts him forward as a punt.
I'll go for him for a punt this week because I don't see Southampton scoring.
Spoiler alert.
Just a quick Jason Puncheon update. Yeah, I am correct. He plays for Paphos, who are now managed by Darko Milanic, who was in 2014. He was the Leeds manager briefly.
Wow.
He was the Leeds manager.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look, if you want facts about Darko Milanic, I'm happy to present them to you. He represented both Yugoslavia and Slovenia at international level.
Good grief.
Obviously, there was a bit of a merger or breakup.
Why are we talking about Darko Milanic?
He's the manager of Paphos, where Jason Puncheon plays, and that's how we got there.
Love the
fact so Jason Puncheon wasn't the manager of Leeds.
No.
Right, I was going
God.
to say, I don't remember that. I know they made some pretty crazy decisions.
No, Mikey, that was so not right.
Okay, well that's terrific news because I thought something had passed me by there. Okay, Arsenal West Ham. It's the Ian Wright derby.
Oh, I'm
what do we-
enjoying this.
So
Maybe
many derbies this weekend.
because
or
I'm
this
not
week.
looking at the fixtures page. So if you can think of a derby coming up next, because I'll be
I've got
excited
them all.
to play.
I've got them all sorted already.
I'll play guess the game.
I'm gonna call it the Rigobert Song Derby. Arsenal against West Ham. So Odegaard scored in his last three, lads.
And he's still dirt cheap, isn't he?
Still dirt cheap. Yeah.
How cheap is dirt?
5.6.
5.6. Yeah, that's quite.
And he's
quite
even
cheap.
scoring headers now. So, it's a good shout. It was a great punt for you last week.
Yeah.
I think you could do far worse. And I expect him to win this. West Ham just having a small blip, aren't they? But they do have good fixtures off this West Ham. So I expect them to pick back up again. But
Yeah.
Arsenal did score arguably one of the goals of the weekend, the first goal for Lacazette. I was tempted Lacazette, boys, on Arsenal.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Come on.
Oh yes, mate, let's get the band back together. Go on, Ade.
Come on. That's a
Aubameyang-
ridiculous shout.
Aubameyang's, not going to play now, is he, for whatever he's done? So, Lacazette, boys?
No.
It's a lovely goal. Lovely goal at the weekend.
Come on. You're better than that, Ant.
Okay,
I don't think I am.
I've got the player for this fixture. Okay, so due to injuries to Ben Johnson, Vladimir Kufal is back. Do you remember last season? He was in loads of teams. He was flying. He gets down the wing. He puts in loads of crosses. He's 4.7 million. He's only selected by 4% of players on the game at the time of recording on Sunday night. He has barely played. Well, he started the season really well. Hasn't played a game between game week 8 and 12 due to Ben Johnson doing so well. But now he is back in the team. Were you tempted by him?
No.
How much is he?
He's 4.7.
No, I don't think so. I think there are lots of other options probably ahead of him at the moment.
Yeah,
It's not a bad shout, but
yeah, okay. Dallo obviously is a good option, but
I mean, just quickly, I just need to go back to Lacazette, right? So prior to this week when he got 7, these have been his scores so far this season: 2-1, 1-2, 2-1, 2-5, 1-0-0-0, 1-0-0.
Okay.
I mean, by those scores, he's going to fit in perfectly into my team.
8.3 million.
But what I would say, and I'm not trying to tempt Ant in here because I know he won't listen to me anyway, but there's going to be some fallout to the whole Aubameyang thing with old Lego hair, because he didn't need to come out, did he, Arteta? He didn't need to come out and say Aubameyang has broken protocol.
I'm really glad he did. There's not enough of that. Fair play.
I agree, but he could have kept it in-house, and he didn't. He chose not to. He chose to, air his dirty laundry in public.
Yeah.
So I think Aubameyang, I think it's going to be frosty between those two, because Aubameyang is an experienced player and he won't like that. And therefore, I can see Lacazette being given more chances.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to get him out the door. He's still got a year and a half on his contract, and apparently it's a very, very lucrative contract as well, Aubameyang. So,
do you remember the whole contract talk? I mean, when it looked like he was leaving, and
that's right.
Barcelona were interested in him at one point, and then he stayed because the contract he got was absurd. But since then, he's not done great. He scored 2 goals all season. Oh no, that's
it's very Mesut Ozil.
It is, yeah. And Arsenal, why have Arsenal fallen for that again? He scored 4 goals this season. Sorry.
Okay. Next up, it's the Gary Lineker derby, Phil.
Oh, okay. Everton, Spurs. No, because Spurs are playing Brighton. Or Gary Lineker.
No, they're not. It's Leicester against Spurs.
Leicester against Spurs. So maybe Leicester against Spurs.
So yeah, Daka, we've talked about him already. 7.1. Impressed today. Maddison just called him basically like Jamie Vardy II, in the way that he plays, very, very similar. So I guess long term that is their plan. But I don't know that I don't know whether I'd go for either of them, given that they very rarely play together, the two. So it's going to be either or.
What about Tielemans? I mean, talking about penalties, he was on penalties today. Vardy doesn't play. He's actually the third highest point scorer this season with 67, only 6.4 mil, 3.3% ownership.
Yeah, he's missed a couple of games as well. So
Yeah, tempted by that. He's a decent player.
He's a decent
Yeah.
player, but he's not a FPL player for me.
I'd have Maddison over Tielemans myself.
Yeah, I would, but yeah.
Do you find it strange what's happened to Iheanacho? Do you remember the back end of last season when he was absolutely on fire?
Everyone had him.
He's played 4 minutes in the last 4 game weeks. The week before that, he played 45 minutes at Chelsea. A couple of times this season he's only played 45 minutes. Yeah, it's so odd, isn't it? Because he was
strange.
on fire.
One
And you
goal
would
this
have thought
season.
if he's trying to rest Vardy, then you would have thought he'd get a look in. But they've clearly decided, like you say, that Daka is Vardy's replacement.
Yeah, strange one.
But
Spurs, I really like your shout of Louisville. I think that's a really clever shout. So yeah, if I was looking for a goalkeeper, he'd certainly be one I'd be looking very closely at.
But as we said earlier, Leicester Spurs could well not even happen. So I wouldn't be trigger happy on buying Leicester and Spurs players.
Mm-hmm.
And that game's on Thursday, and
Yeah.
we've got the deadline is Tuesday. So you're taking a flying punt.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. What was it? The game Spurs game got called off in the Europa conference.
Yeah,
whatever
Rennes.
it was. That got called off like an hour before kickoff or something ridiculous, didn't it?
Mental. Mental.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
Okay, penultimate game of the week is the Graham Stewart derby.
Oh, Graham Stewart. So Everton are involved.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him. Graham Stewart. Give me a kit color.
Blue.
Chelsea
Yes.
winner.
Chelsea Everton.
Everton who are back to being diabolical today.
Yeah, terrific stuff. Terrific stuff. You'd love to see it.
And it's a Stamford Bridge. Is it time for Chelsea-tastic here, Mike?
Well, I am Chelsea-tastic. I've got Alonso, I've got James, and I've brought in Mason Mount. So, yes, Chelsea-tastic is in full effect.
Yeah, I think it is time for Chelsea-tastic again on this one.
Mm.
Yeah, I got Rudiger and James, and yeah, I'd be tempted with Mount as well. Now he seems to be back and fit. You, Ant, what are you thinking on that? Are you thinking of any Everton players? I mean,
well, I've still got. The trouble is, I've got Damari Gray, and he's another one who I'm sort of carrying just because I've got so many. I've got 3 strikers while I'm playing, so that's where all my attention is focused at the moment. So until I've sorted that out, I mean, I desperately need. I mean, I'm so jealous of your wife having a wild card that she doesn't need. I mean,
so jealous of my wife being married to me.
And that, yeah.
I
mean, I'd choose pizza over you, but
I forgot
that. Yeah, I mean, I would give anything to have a wild card right now. I mean,
anything.
Anything. Well, not anything.
What would you give? What sort of what would be a fair exchange? What would you offer my wife in exchange for her wild card?
Good grief.
Well,
I mean, we don't need to go there.
Okay.
She gets
it is
what
after 9 p.m.
she
this recording.
needs.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
No, I mean, board and keep and stuff.
I would offer a lovely bread maker that I know, no longer used, but I know you have an identical bread maker because unbelievably you bought exactly the same one days apart under lockdown.
Don't bring that up. Don't bring up.
You also not use your bread maker anymore?
Well, no. In fact, I was thinking I might use it tonight, but this is running a bit late, so I probably won't have time. Maybe during the week. During Christmas, that'd be lovely. Some fresh bread.
Yeah.
I don't want to poke the bear, but you were making some kind of action as in don't talk about the bread maker.
Yeah. Well, no, because it might be seen by my wife as a waste of money. So you're saying you would? I mean, how much was the bread maker?
It's about £50.
So you'd pay £50 for another wild card?
Well, I mean, only in that I don't any in that it's sat in my cupboard and I haven't used it for about 3 months.
Okay, resale value you're probably looking at about 30 then.
Well, how many packets of milk chews would you hand over to Holly for a wild card?
Oof. She's still got quite a few Ferrero Rochers left from her birthday, and with Christmas around the corner, I don't think milk chews are going to do it.
At least 5.
Okay,
well, that's a paltry effort. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, 5 milk chews or a bread maker.
Wow. Well, I love milk chews more than a bread maker, so
yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Messy.
Thank you, Nigella. So, in answer to whatever the fixture was, Everton and Rondon scored today.
I mean, he's in. I mean, that's it. He's in.
See, Richarlison got subbed off and was furious about it. And then when Rondon scored, Richarlison was just muttering to himself in anger on the bench.
Yeah.
Richarlison's been carrying that team, so I would be annoyed if I was subbed off as well.
Yeah, I would agree on that. But yeah, Chelsea-tastic here, surely. But they need to get back to getting some clean sheets here, don't they? They had clean sheet after clean sheet, and then they've been a little bit leaky of late. But if ever they're going to get back to it, this would be the fixture you would expect.
How have Everton spent like £400 million and their midfield is so bad?
It is terrible.
Anyway, sorry.
But their net, I mean, I don't need to get too deep in this, but their net spend's not 400 million.
No, I appreciate that, but they've still spent 400 million, and this is their midfield.
Yeah. Right, finally, then it's the John Joe Shelby derby.
Oh, John. Well, Swansea aren't here anymore, so it's got to be Liverpool Newcastle.
It is indeed,
because we discussed it earlier.
Yeah. 4-3 win for Liverpool.
4-3 win. Oh, it'll be on. Well, I think all the games are on BT Sport this week, which is very annoying as a non-BT Sport.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, but it's during the midweek, that is. But yeah, they'll be playing the old clips, won't they? Keegan on.
Of course they will.
Head down on the barrier.
I mean, when's Salah going to get a rest?
Never.
Yeah, we mention it every week, but he just.
Is this the one? I think this could be the one.
You reckon?
I think this could be the one.
I bloody hope not.
I think it could be, lads. I really do.
Well, the thing
Newcastle, who are very, very leaky. Liverpool, who are in great form. Do they really need Salah in this one?
A rest for who, though? Who's coming in? Because Firmino, he's not 100% yet. Jota is carrying a knock. So you've got Minamino or Oxlade-Chamberlain maybe coming in.
Yeah.
But they're not Salah.
They're not, but I'm not sure you need Salah against Newcastle.
If you're Salah must have a lot of power in that changing room, okay, because he's one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, but I think even Salah would appreciate he needs a break at some point, right?
But Salah loves setting records. He's so hungry for setting records, and he's going to look at that game and think, I've just seen Newcastle can see 4 goals against Leicester, who have been terrible. I want to score some more goals.
Yeah,
I can't see anything other than that. And he'd say to Klopp, play me.
He just wants to play every minute of every game, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's going to have to take a break at some time. So would he rather take a break against Liverpool or would he rather take a break away at Spurs?
Well, they might be banking on Spurs still being an absolute car crash by next Sunday and then that game being cancelled and then he might have a break then. I mean, the thing is, between that Spurs game, there isn't then another game until Boxing Day. So that's a week. I mean, that is a rest. A week to a week. I mean, 1 game a week isn't insane.
Yeah, but he's then got 2 games within 3 days.
Yeah, but that's Christmas. It
is Christmas.
I get that. Foreign manager here.
No, it's Christmas, and I'm all for playing. But if you've got a chance to put some rest into those legs this week, then I would probably do that.
I think he's too hungry. I don't think he'll get dropped.
Okay.
I hope not. Otherwise, I really am in trouble.
Are you captaining him this weekend?
Well, I think yeah, it's a really boring one, isn't it? It's a really obvious one, but one of the few times I captained Jimenez, and he got 2 points.
But that is a ridiculous decision of your own making.
Yeah, but when you're as far behind as me, there's no point following the trend in many ways, is it? Because you're never going to catch up because everyone's got him, which is what was my thinking.
I've known you since we were teenagers, and no one has ever accused you of following a trend.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah. I would suggest maybe Trent if you want to do something different, Ant. If you want to play catch up, Trent, he's capable of some hauls. You can't see Liverpool conceding many against Newcastle.
Or any, you would imagine.
Exactly, yeah.
Bear in mind Leicester won 4-0 today. Poor Eddie, he's really got his work cut out there, hasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. We've had a question coming in live from Rian O. Riano. Oh, he must get that all the time. or she.
Or just now.
Rianne is a lady's name, unless it's Ryan. Oh, it's so
How's it being
confusing.
spelt, please?
Rian.
Riano. Riano.
Wow,
It's a man or a woman.
It really does feel like we are Black Lace.
Are they a man or a woman?
Well, that's the question I'm asking.
Oh.
We got Rianne O. It could be Ryan O, or it's close to Ryanair, or Riano. I'm
They
gonna say
are really pretty. They are intelligent. They are a possibly man. They are N. No, maybe a woman. They are oh.
You okay,
excellent.
Mike?
Thank goodness. He's it's the Irish. Thank goodness. Thank you. So it's pronounced Reen. We were all wrong.
Oh.
Amazing.
Well,
It
that's
means
disappointing.
king in Irish. I'm
Wow.
so sorry, Reen. He's a guy. But I hope you
Okay.
enjoyed the Black Lace tribute to your name,
Yeah.
saved exclusively for you this week.
Yeah.
Anyway, Reen asks, how long does it take until subs come in and the league auto updates? It's usually it's about 10 o'clock ish, usually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 9:45 now as we record. So very shortly. I'm assuming, therefore, you've got some points to come off the bench, and you're hoping you're climbing your league. Apologies again, Reen. I like that. I like the fact that the Irish go with names that are pronounced completely different to their spelling.
Hmm.
It's like Niamha, you know,
Yeah.
when you see people called Niamha and they say, "No, it's not my name. It's Neve or whatever it is." I like the
dear.
Irish. I love the accent. Love the accent.
Oh,
Anyway.
young Philip, hello there. Why, hello there, Philip. It's Niam her here.
No, Mikey, no, Mikey, that was so not right.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Fine.
I didn't expect to get so used today.
I'm with. Well, didn't you? Because I mean, to be honest, this will definitely be the most used sound clip of the season because Mike does do a lot of things we have to correct.
This is true.
Yeah. So yeah, I
Hit me
love
with
the
your
name.
punts,
Reed.
lads. Hit me with your punts.
So punts. Explain what the punt is, Mike, whilst I find a
right.
punt.
It's,
I mean,
it's-
we're assuming. I mean, this is for any new listeners. If we have new listeners, it's it's a miracle. And if you've listened this far, fair play to you. Please do tell someone else about the podcast, and please do let us know that you're listening. It's very exciting to hear from you. Mike, go for it.
All right. So look, every week we ask for a player of 2% or under ownership. Myself, Phil, and Ant pick ours. The one with the highest haul, it gets guaranteed immunity from having their captain picked by the listeners. And the other two go head to head to find out who will have their captain picked. And their captain will be picked by a listener who gets the highest haul of their punt. Players of 2% ownership or more. So do get involved on Twitter. And I have gone for old Gooey Louie from Crystal Palace. Anthony, what about you?
Well, an obvious choice I feel this week, boys.
No, Raheem Sterling.
Lacazette.
Oh, great.
I had to. If I'm not bringing him into
Brilliant.
my team, he's my punt.
That's great.
I was going to go Divock Origi based on the fact that you think Salah might get rested, and that might comfort me if he
cheeky.
does get rested.
Yeah, I like
But
that.
he's 75% chance of playing, so
Ah,
it's a bit of a risk, isn't it? So yeah, I probably
It
won't
is
go
risky.
for him. I will
who
put
will
my
you
money.
go for?
I'll put my money where my mouth is and go Cucurella.
All right.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess all that remains is for us to say thank you for listening, and we wish you well this week.
Indeed.
Congratulations, Max
Come on,
Verstappen. What
Yes.
what a race! What a race! And thank you so much to Toto Wolff for my new favourite sound clip.
Yeah, amen to that.
Guys, have a good game week. The deadline is 6 o'clock, I think, around 6.
Tuesday.
Just do it sort of Tuesday lunchtime and you won't miss the deadline. And we'll see you on the other side of this game week. Have a good week. Take care.
See ya.
Goodbye now.